My brother's best friend. Before we start, if you enjoy this story, and you'd like to hear more slow-burn romance like it, please like the video and subscribe. Your support helps this channel grow. Now, let's begin. Chapter 1. The front door slammed so hard the picture frames rattled on the wall. Mara. Get down here. I groaned into my pillow. My brother's voice could wake the dead, and it was barely 9 on a Saturday morning. I'd been home from college for exactly 12 hours, and Jake was already being Jake. What? I yelled back, not moving. Now. He shouted. I dragged myself out of bed, pulled on yesterday's shorts under my oversized t-shirt, and padded downstairs. Jake stood in the kitchen, arms crossed, looking annoyingly awake for someone who'd probably been out until 3. Your car's blocking the driveway. Move it. You could have just taken my keys, I said. And risk you accusing me of stealing your car again? No thanks. I was about to respond when the front door opened behind him. Jake, you left your... The voice stopped. I looked up, and there he was. Ethan Cross stood in our doorway, Jake's gym bag in one hand, looking like every forbidden fantasy I'd spent 4 years trying to forget. Taller than I remembered. Broader in the shoulders. His dark hair was longer now, curling slightly at the ends, and those green eyes that used to make me stumble over my words locked onto mine. Mara. My name in his voice did things to me it absolutely shouldn't. Ethan. I tried to sound casual. Normal. Like my heart wasn't suddenly racing. I'm surprised you're still alive, given how much time you spend with my brother. Jake snorted. Funny. Move your car. But Ethan wasn't looking at Jake. He was looking at me, and something in his expression made my skin feel too tight. You cut your hair, he said. My hand went automatically to the ends, now just brushing my shoulders instead of halfway down my back. 2 years ago. It looks good. Dude. Jake waved a hand between us. Car. Driveway. Now. I grabbed my keys from the hook, very aware of Ethan's eyes following me as I walked past. He smelled the same, something clean and woodsy that made me want to lean closer. I didn't. Obviously. Outside, I slid into my car and started the engine. Through the windshield, I could see Ethan and Jake talking in the doorway. Ethan glanced at me, then quickly away. 4 years. I'd been 18 when I left for college, and Ethan had been 22, fresh out of school and starting his first real job. He'd been Jake's best friend since high school, a permanent fixture in our house, and completely off limits. I'd kissed him anyway, the night before I left. And he'd stepped back, put his hands on my shoulders, and said, You're Jake's little sister. This can't happen. Then he'd left, and I'd spent my freshman year pretending my heart wasn't broken. I pulled out of the driveway and parked on the street. When I walked back inside, Jake was alone in the kitchen, making coffee. Where's Ethan? He had to go. Why? Just asking. Jake gave me a look. Don't. Don't what? Whatever you're thinking. Don't. I'm not thinking anything. Mara. He set down his mug. I know that look. You had it all through high school. Ethan's my best friend. You're my sister. Those two things don't mix. I was 18 and stupid. I'm over it. Good. Keep it that way. He grabbed his keys. I'm going to the gym. Don't eat my leftover pizza. The door closed behind him, and I stood in the empty kitchen, telling myself Jake was right. I was over it. Completely over it. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Hey. It's Ethan. Got your number from your mom's contact list. Hope that's not weird. My heart did a stupid little flip. Me? Depends. Why do you need my number? Ethan, I'm throwing Jake a birthday party next weekend. It's not a surprise or anything. Need to know if you're bringing anyone. Me, like a date? Ethan, yeah. I stared at the screen, reading things into that single word that probably weren't there. Me, no date. Just me. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Ethan, good. Then, I mean good to know. For planning purposes. I smiled at my phone like an idiot. I guess I wasn't completely over it. Chapter 2. Jake's birthday party was at the Riverside, a bar downtown with a patio overlooking the water. I showed up fashionably late in a black dress that was just short enough to make a statement, my hair in loose waves. I spotted Jake immediately, surrounded by friends near the bar. And next to him, laughing at something someone said, was Ethan. He saw me at the same moment I saw him. His laugh faded. His eyes traveled down, then back up, and the look on his face made my stomach flip. Mara. Jake waved me over. Finally. Come do a shot with us. I wove through the crowd. Ethan stepped aside to make room, and suddenly we were standing close enough that I could feel the heat radiating off him. Hey, he said quietly. Hey yourself. You look, he stopped, jaw tightening. Nice dress. Thanks. You clean up pretty well too. He was wearing dark jeans and a gray button-down with the sleeves rolled up, and it should be illegal how good he looked. Jake thrust a shot glass into my hand. To being 27 and still not having my life together. Everyone laughed and drank. The tequila burned going down. The night blurred into music and conversation. I danced with Jake's girlfriend, caught up with old friends, and tried very hard not to look at Ethan. Our eyes met every time I glanced at him, which was often. Around 11, I escaped to the patio for air. It was surprisingly deserted. The music was muffled out here, the river dark and glittering below. Are you hiding? I turned. Ethan stood in the doorway, hands in his pockets. Needed a break from the noise. He walked over, leaning against the railing beside me. Close, but not touching. Having fun? He asked. Sure. You? My voice trembled a little, my body reacting to his proximity. It's a good party. He responded. We stood in silence for a moment. The tension between us was thick enough to cut. So, I said finally. It's been a while. Yeah, he said, staring at the dark water below. You didn't visit much. When I was home from school. His jaw tightened. I was busy. Right. Busy. Mara, he tried, but I cut him off. It's fine. I get it. Jake's your best friend. I was just his annoying little sister with a one-sided crush. You were never annoying. His voice was rough. And it wasn't one-sided. My heart stopped. What? He turned to face me fully, and the look in his eyes made my breath catch. You think I didn't feel it too? He ran a hand through his hair. You were 18. I was 22. You were about to leave for college, and you were Jake's sister. There were about 100 reasons why I couldn't. And now? The question hung between us. Now you're 22, he said quietly. And I'm 26. And you're still Jake's sister. My heart deflated like a punctured balloon. He wasn't done. But I've spent 4 years trying to forget the way you looked at me. The way you tasted when you kissed me. He stepped closer. And seeing you again, Mara, it's like no time passed at all. I couldn't breathe. Ethan. Tell me you don't feel it. Tell me I'm imagining this, and I'll walk away right now. I should tell him that. I should protect both of us from the inevitable disaster this would become. Instead, I said, You're not imagining it. His eyes darkened. He reached out slowly, giving me time to pull away, and tucked a strand of hair behind my ear. His fingers lingered on my jaw. This is a bad idea, he murmured. Terrible. I agreed. Jake will kill me. Probably. I said, I don't care. His thumb brushed across my lower lip. I've wanted to do this for 4 years. Then he kissed me. It wasn't gentle or tentative. It was 4 years of wanting compressed into a single moment, his hand sliding into my hair, my fingers gripping his shirt. He tasted like whiskey and something darker, and when his tongue touched mine, I made a sound that should have embarrassed me. He groaned against my mouth, pulling me closer, and I went willingly, pressing against him until there was no space between us. His other hand found my waist, fingers spreading across my lower back, and I felt the kiss everywhere. Ethan. You out here? We broke apart at Jake's voice. Ethan's chest was heaving, his lips swollen, his eyes wild. Yeah, he called back, voice rough. Just getting some air. Come do another shot. Be right there. We stared at each other. My heart was pounding so hard I was sure he could hear it. We should go back inside, I whispered. Yeah. Neither of us moved. Mara. He touched my face again, gentle this time. This isn't over. It can't happen. Jake, I know. But it's too late. His smile was crooked, devastating. I'm already gone. He walked back inside, leaving me on the patio with swollen lips and a racing heart. I was definitely not over this. Chapter 3. I avoided Ethan for 3 days. It wasn't easy. He texted me twice, called once, and showed up at the house when he knew Jake would be at work. I pretended I wasn't home. On the 4th day, my mom cornered me in the kitchen. What did you do to Ethan? I nearly dropped my coffee. What? I met him yesterday looking like a kicked puppy. Asked if you were okay. She gave me her mom look, the one that saw through everything. So what happened? Nothing. Mara. I sighed. There was no way around this. We kissed. At Jake's party. And now I'm avoiding him because Jake will literally murder us both if he finds out. Mom sighed. Oh honey. Don't oh honey me, Mum. You know Jake. You know how he is about Ethan and me. I know your brother is overprotective and sometimes irrational. She squeezed my shoulder. I also know Ethan's been half in love with you since you were 17. My heart stuttered. He has not. Sweetie. Everyone knows. Everyone except Jake, apparently, and you until recently. She smiled. Why do you think he stopped coming around when you were home from college? Because he was busy? No, I have a feeling he was avoiding you because of your brother's stupid rule. She kissed my forehead. Talk to him. Figure out what you want. Then deal with Jake. She left me standing there, mind reeling. My phone buzzed. Ethan, I know you're avoiding me. Can we please just talk? I stared at the message for a long moment. Me coffee. The place on Main? Ethan, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I changed into jeans and a soft blue sweater, fixed my hair, and tried to calm my racing heart. This was just coffee. Just talking. Just Ethan. He was already there when I arrived, sitting at a corner table, 2 cups in front of him. He stood when he saw me, and the look on his face made my chest tight. Hey, he said. Hey. I slid into the chair across from him. You remembered my order. Vanilla latte, extra shot, no whip. He smiled slightly. I remember everything about you, Mara. Oh, that wasn't fair. Ethan, I started but he cut me. Let me go first. He leaned forward. I know this is complicated. I know Jake's going to lose his mind. But I can't keep pretending I don't feel this. I've tried for years, and it didn't work. What are you saying? I stammered. I'm saying I want to try. Really try. You and me. His hand reached across the table, palm up. If you want that too. I looked at his hand, then at his face. At the hope and fear and want written there. Jake will never forgive us. Maybe not at first. But he loves us both. He'll come around. You don't know that. No, he admitted. But I know I'll regret it for the rest of my life if I don't take this chance. My hand moved before my brain caught up, sliding into his. His fingers closed around mine, warm and sure. This is crazy, I whispered. Completely, he said, not reassuring me at all. We should have a plan. A way to tell him that won't end in bloodshed. Agreed. And we should probably figure out if this is even real first. If it's not just years of build-up and fantasy. His thumb stroked across my knuckles. Want to find out? Yeah, I breathed. I really do. He smiled, and it transformed his whole face. Dinner tonight? Somewhere Jake won't see us. Like a secret date? Like a first date that will tell your brother about once he's less likely to commit murder. I laughed despite myself. Okay. Yes. Dinner. I'll pick you up at 7. Wear something nice. He stood, still holding my hand, and pulled me up with him. And Mara. Yeah. He leaned in close, his lips brushing my ear. I'm going to kiss you goodnight. Just so you know what you're in for. Then he left, and I stood there with my heart racing and a smile I couldn't suppress. Chapter 4. Ethan picked me up at 7 sharp, and I was grateful my parents were out and Jake was working late. He'd cleaned up his truck, and when I climbed in, I caught him staring. What? You're beautiful. He said it simply, like a fact. I should have told you that 4 years ago. My cheeks heated. You're not so bad yourself. He drove us to a small Italian place 2 towns over, intimate and dimly lit. We got a corner booth, and when we sat down, his knee pressed against mine under the table. So, he said, once we'd ordered, tell me about college. Everything I missed. That's 4 years of stuff. I argued. I want to hear all of it. He said, giving me all of his attention. So I told him. About my classes and my friends, the semester I spent abroad, the internship that turned into a job offer. He listened like every word mattered, asking questions, laughing at the right parts. Your turn, I said finally. What have you been up to? Working mostly. Got promoted last year. Bought a house. He smiled. It needs work, but it's mine. A house? That's very adult of you. I'm 26. Had to grow up sometime. Jake says you're dating someone new every month. His expression shifted. Jake talks too much. So it's true. I went on dates. Nothing serious. He caught my hand across the table. Hard to get serious about someone when you're hung up on someone else. My breath caught. Ethan, I breathed. I mean it, Mara. There's been no one. Not really. Not since, he stopped. Since what? Since you kissed me 4 years ago and I was too stupid to kiss you back properly. The waiter arrived with our food, breaking the moment. We ate and talked, and it was easy in a way I hadn't expected. Natural. Like we'd been doing this for years instead of hiding our feelings. After dinner, he drove to a lookout point overlooking the city. We sat on the hood of his truck, shoulders touching, watching the lights below. I used to come here in high school, I said, when I needed to think. I know. Jake told me once. He glanced at me. I came here sometimes too. After you left for college. Why? Because it made me feel closer to you. He turned to face me fully. I know how that sounds. Pathetic, and I kissed him. It was softer than the kiss at the party. Slower. But no less intense. His hand cupped my face. And I felt him smile against my lips. I've been wanting to do that all night, I whispered. Just all night. Okay, fine. 4 years. He laughed and kissed me again, deeper this time. His hands slid into my hair. And I shifted closer, needing more contact. His mouth moved to my jaw. My neck. And I gasped when he found the sensitive spot below my ear. Ethan, I gasped again. Tell me to stop, he murmured. Please don't stop. He groaned and pulled me into his lap. And suddenly we were a tangle of hands and mouths and breathless sounds. His hands roamed my back, my sides, never straying too far but making me wish they would. We should slow down, he murmured against my lips. Why? Because if we don't, I'm going to do something that should wait until at least the 3rd date. I pulled back enough to see his face. His pupils were blown wide, his breathing ragged. What if I don't want to wait? His grip on my hips tightened. Mara, you're killing me. Good. He kissed me again, hard and possessive, and I melted into it. But after a moment, he gentled it, slowing us down until we were just kissing, sweet and soft. I want to do this right, he said finally. You deserve that. What if I just want you? You have me. You've had me for 4 years. He tucked my hair behind my ear. But I'm not rushing this. When we finally, he stopped, jaw tight. I want it to be right. Not in the back of my truck at a lookout point. I couldn't help but smile. You're kind of romantic, aren't you? Only for you. We stayed there for another hour, talking and kissing and learning each other. When he finally drove me home, he walked me to the door like a proper gentleman. When can I see you again? He asked. Tomorrow? Too long. I laughed. He chuckled. He kissed me softly. I'll text you, he spoke against my lips. Then stepped away. Ethan. I caught his hand. Thank you for tonight. Best first date I've ever had. He said with a grin. Me too. I agreed. He kissed me one more time, like he couldn't get enough, then forced himself to step back. Go inside before I change my mind about being a gentleman. I floated into the house, and through the window, I watched him drive away. This was real. This was happening. Now we just had to tell Jake. Chapter 5. We lasted 5 more days before Jake found out. 5 perfect, secret days of stolen kisses. And late-night phone calls. And text messages that made me blush. Ethan took me to dinner twice more. And we spent an entire afternoon at his house. Ostensibly so he could show me the renovations. But mostly so we could make out on his couch without fear of interruption. On day 6, Jake came home early from work. I was in the kitchen, on the phone with Ethan, laughing because I thought he was joking. No, you can't come over. Jake's here. What? No, that's a terrible idea. Ethan, I'm serious. The doorbell rang. Tell me you didn't, I said into the phone. I'm tired of hiding. His voice was firm. We need to tell him. Now? Yes, Mara. Now. I hung up and opened the door. Ethan stood there, looking determined and slightly terrified. You're insane, I hissed. Probably. He stepped inside. Where is he? Living room. Ethan, maybe we should, but he was already walking toward Jake. I followed, heart in my throat. Jake looked up from his laptop. Hey man. What's up? Ethan glanced at me, then back at Jake. We need to talk. Something in his tone made Jake's eyes narrow. What about? About Mara. The temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. What about Mara? Jake's voice was dangerously quiet. I'm dating her. For a moment, nobody moved. Then Jake stood, slowly, his expression darkening. You're what? Jake, I started. How long? He looked between us. How long has this been going on? A week, Ethan said. Officially. But, a week. Jake laughed, but there was no humor in it. A week, and you didn't think to mention it? We were going to tell you, when? After you got bored and moved on to the next girl. He turned to me. And you? You're just going to let him, don't. Ethan's voice was sharp. Don't talk to her like that. She's my sister. I know that. I've always known that. Ethan stepped forward. But I'm in love with her, Jake. I have been for years. The room went silent. Jake stared at him. You're in love with her? Yes. Jake looked at me. And you? My heart was pounding. I love him too. Jake ran his hands through his hair. This is insane. You're my best friend. She's my little sister. This can't, it already is, Ethan said quietly. And I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm sorry we didn't tell you sooner. I'm sorry this is hard for you. But I'm not sorry about her. Jake paced the room, and I could see him processing, fighting with himself. Then he spoke to Ethan. If you hurt her, I won't. If you break her heart, I'd rather die. Jake stopped pacing. He looked at Ethan for a long moment, then at me. You're sure about this? He asked me. Yes, I'm sure. And you, he pointed at Ethan. You're serious? This isn't just, I'm going to marry her someday, Ethan said. If she'll have me. My heart stopped. Ethan's eyes met mine, and the certainty in them took my breath away. Jake groaned. I can't believe this is happening. Jake, no, he held up a hand. I need a minute. I need to, he grabbed his keys. I'm going out. Don't, Just don't do anything while I'm gone. The door slammed behind him. I turned to Ethan. Did you mean that? About marrying me? Every word. He pulled me close. Too soon? Probably. Scared you off? Not even a little. He kissed me, soft and sweet and full of promise. Think he'll come around? I asked. Eventually. He loves us both too much not to. And if he doesn't? Then we'll deal with it. Together. He rested his forehead against mine. I meant what I said, Mara. I'm all in. Whatever it takes. Me too. We stood there, wrapped in each other, and I felt something settle in my chest. This was right. This was real. And whatever came next, we'd face it together. Chapter 6. Jake came back hours later. Ethan and I were on the couch, watching a movie, my head on his shoulder. When the door opened, we both tensed. Jake stood in the doorway, looking tired. I talked to Mom, he said. Oh God. I sat up. What did she say? That I'm an idiot and she's known about this for years. He walked over and dropped into the armchair. Apparently everyone knew except me. Jake, let me finish. He looked at Ethan. You're my best friend. You've been there for me through everything. And Mara, his voice softened. You're my sister. I want you to be happy. But, I prompted. But this is weird. Really weird. He rubbed his face. I need time to adjust. And I need you both to promise me something. Anything, Ethan said. Don't make me pick sides. If this goes south, don't make me choose between you. It won't go south, I said. You don't know that. I do. I reached for Ethan's hand. I know it the same way I know the sun will come up tomorrow. This is it for me, Jake. He's it. Jake looked at Ethan. And you? She's everything, Ethan said simply. I'm not going anywhere. Jake was quiet for a long moment. Then he sighed. Okay. Okay? I repeated. Okay, you can date. But I have rules. Of course you do, I muttered. No making out in front of me. No excessive PDA. And if you two start getting gross and coupley, I reserve the right to leave the room. Ethan grinned. Deal. And Ethan? If you hurt her, you'll kill me. I know. Ethan squeezed my hand. But you won't have to. If I ever hurt her, I'll do it myself. Jake rolled his eyes. You're both ridiculous. But you love us, I said. Unfortunately. But he was smiling. Now can we please watch this movie? And Mara, get your feet off the couch. You know Mom hates that. I laughed and settled back against Ethan, who wrapped his arm around me. Jake grabbed a beer from the kitchen and rejoined us, and for a moment, everything was perfect. Later, when Jake went to bed, I walked Ethan to the door. That went better than expected, I said. Your brother's a good guy. He is. I leaned against the doorframe. So, you told him you're going to marry me? I did. That's a pretty big statement for a week-old relationship. I know. He stepped closer, caging me against the door. But I've been in love with you for years. This isn't new for me, Mara. It's just finally real. I love you, I whispered. I should have said it before. In front of Jake. But I'm saying it now. I love you. His smile was brilliant. Say it again. I love you. Again. I love you, Ethan Cross. He kissed me, deep and slow and perfect. When we finally broke apart, we were both breathing hard. I should go, he murmured. Before Jake comes back and finds us like this. Probably wise. But neither of us moved. Mara. Yeah. I'm going to marry you someday. Just so you know. I'm counting on it. He kissed me one more time, then forced himself to step back. Dinner tomorrow? A real date, where we don't have to hide. I'd love that. Good. I'll pick you up at 7. He started to walk away, then turned back. And Mara? Thank you. For what? For being brave enough to kiss me 4 years ago. For giving me a second chance. His eyes were soft. For being you. Then he was gone, and I was left standing in the doorway with a full heart and a smile I couldn't suppress. This was just the beginning. Epilogue. 6 months later. The house was finally finished. Ethan had spent months renovating it, and now it was perfect. Hardwood floors, updated kitchen, a master bedroom with windows overlooking the backyard. "What do you think?" he asked, watching me explore. "It's beautiful." I turned to face him. "But why are you showing me this now?" "Because I want you to move in with me." My heart skipped. "Ethan. I know it's fast. I know we've only been officially together for 6 months. But Mara, I wake up every morning wishing you were there. I go to sleep every night wishing you were beside me." He crossed the room and took my hands. "Move in with me. Make this a home." "What will Jake say?" "Jake already knows. I asked his permission." "You asked his," I laughed. "Of course you did. So? What do you say?" I looked around the empty house, imagining it filled with our things, our life, our future. "Yes," I said. "Yes, I'll move in with you." He picked me up and spun me around, both of us laughing. When he set me down, his expression turned serious. "There's one more thing." "What?" He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. My breath caught. "I know it's too soon," he said. "I know we should wait. But I've been carrying this around for a month, and I can't wait anymore." He opened the box, revealing a simple, perfect diamond ring. "Mara, I've loved you since you were 17 years old. I've wanted you since you were 18. And I've been yours since the moment you kissed me 4 years ago." Tears were streaming down my face. "I don't want to wait anymore. I don't want to be cautious or sensible or slow." He dropped to one knee. "I want to marry you. I want to build a life with you. I want everything, and I want it with you. So Mara, will you marry me?" "Yes." The word came out as a sob. "Yes, yes, yes." He slid the ring onto my finger and stood, pulling me into his arms. We kissed, and it tasted like tears and laughter and forever. "Jake's going to kill you," I said against his lips. "Worth it. My parents are going to say we're too young." "Don't care. Everyone's going to think we're crazy." "Let them." He cupped my face. "You're it for me, Mara. You've always been it. You're it for me too." We stood there in our empty house, wrapped in each other, and I felt the future unfold before us, bright and beautiful and ours. He was my brother's best friend. He was forbidden. He was everything. And he was mine. The end. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more Arloon romance. New stories are coming soon. Thank you for listening.